We back. I recorded that last video when it got a nectarine. It was juicy, sweet, hella good, a little sour. You know how it is. I put some chapstick on. My lips is actually wiped off that sap, and we back at it. So, this time we got a poetry reading. I don't really say my shit out loud. I really don't know how to. I haven't rehearsed this. But here we are, because that was the whole point of making this channel, in actuality, was to get some practice practice reciting shit. So, how we gonna do this is, I'm gonna recite this. I wrote this earlier for the beginning of this channel, actually. And then we got some explanations, and I'm gonna just go off top with some of my thoughts about what I wrote. Just so you can see where my head was at when I wrote this. Right? Boom. I feel like this intro is mad fucking long. Here we go. Okay. My offerings to a shoe, a call to the ancestors. A gate opens, a voice, my soul answers. I know the journey may be long, my feet are prepared. My heart is strong, and my earth heats the air. The waters of the spirit are kept warm by my fire, and the space inside my mind is not empty of desire. I know not for what I'm headed, but I'll get to where I'm destined. That feels a little incomplete now that I've said it. I feel like one more line. Look, that feels incomplete where I said it. Wrong, done. Boom. Okay. My offerings to a shoe. So in Ifa, Ishesha, which my mom practices, I'm starting to dibble dabble, as they say. You offer your first offering to a shoe. It's kind of similar to Hinduism, which was like my first loves in terms of religion. Where you offer your first offering to Ganesh before you offer to anyone else. So I call to the ancestors. The second, so that's the second offering, and make that one. So goes a shoe, which we have by our door. And then you take the second offering over to your ancestors, which in my house is in our dining room. A gate opens. This, I had it as a gate because a shoe is like the opener of gates and pathways. But I realized it could also be a gate, like the way that you step. Not just the way, like the walking, but the way that you walk. And so my thoughts about that were, I want to open or walk openly, as in the things that I do, the things that I'm learning, the path that I'm taking. I want it to be kind of accessible, because I feel like I'm damn near everybody, not in the sense that I have the same exact experiences, but I'm just a normal ass person. And so whatever I'm learning and whatever I'm doing and however I'm growing, I want it to be visible, if to no one else than to my family and my friends, just so that, you know, if you learn something, you're supposed to teach it. That's just how I feel. Not you're supposed to teach it as in like, I'm the teacher up here and I'm gonna teach you something, but like, you just pass things by transmission of your way of being or by saying something, and that's just, I feel like, part of community. You give what you got. The call from within, a voice, my soul answers, speaks to the call from within. I think, you know, heeding that, what's called the still small voice within, that type thing. You feel me? I know the journey may be long, but my feet are prepared. So in Ifa, your ancestors are in like the part of your body that represents your ancestors is your left big toe. So my feet are prepared because I made the offerings earlier. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, I take long ass walks. I'll walk for like 5 hours. I'll walk from East Oakland to fucking Embryville. So I can walk. Hey, my heart is strong and my earth heats the air. So the earth speaks to the body for me. The air speaks to the mind. And so when I was writing my notes, I said the body and mind are in harmony. But when I wrote this, which is also my notes, but here the mind takes precedence over the body, which I think speaks to where I'm at right now, where I'm still, like, even the fact that I wrote that, I'm still learning how to be embodied. I'm still learning how not to, you know, overthink stuff and not really feel it, right? So like me writing that line was me accidentally telling on myself just a little bit, where I was like, you feel me? This is above this. Whereas I think that intellectually I understand that you have to kind of go into your body and really be present and feel through things to really complete that cycle, you feel me? The Waters of the Spirit speaks to Of Water and Spirit by Patrice Malidoma Somé. If you haven't read that book, highly recommend it, especially if you're into any sort of traditional African religion, especially if you're not, just so that you can get an idea of some of the indigenous ideas and practices that, we don't really necessarily always get to see. And I think that those things are very important, especially in terms of connecting with the earth, connecting with community, connecting with ancestors. Yeah. The inner fire of the the waters of the spirit are kept warm by my fire. The fire speaks to the inner fire of the inner temple. I think that's self-explanatory. That's just like, you feel me, that warmth in your gut. You have that, like, that drive, that ambition, or you just have that warmth inside of you, And the space inside my mind, that's the fifth element, so they have water, fire, earth, air, and then you also have space, Akash, in Hinduism, in other systems too. I'm just speaking on what I know and what I've read. So what I originally wrote was, is empty of desire, and I went back and added not, because no the fuck it ain't. I don't know if I was supposed to cuss. I think I was trying not to, but here we are anyways. And what I wrote was, no the fuck it ain't. And I amended, I think I aimed for that, and that's why I wrote it. I think a lot of times I'll write things from where I want to be, from the perspectives that I want to inhabit, but I'm not there yet. And I think it's really important to be honest with myself about where am I right now, because you can't get to fucking Detroit if you think you already in Detroit, right? I know not for what I'm headed. I don't. I know that I have, a plan and ideas of where I want to head, but I think that anytime I make a plan and start walking it, I get a certain distance and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm really doing my shit here. And then God is like, good, I'm glad you're moving, but we're gonna take this detour right quick, you feel me? But which is where it goes into the next line, but I'll get to where I'm destined. To me, it's like wherever I do end up, even if it wasn't where I had originally planned to at the start of my journey, that's where I was supposed to be. Right now, whatever plan I had 1, 2, 3 years ago is not where I'm at all. And in a lot of ways, I am incredibly grateful for that, because I am here. I wasn't writing 2 years ago. I wasn't really creating art 2 years ago. I had given up on that. I used to do that a lot when I was a kid, not quit. Now I do. I write every single day. I'm working on my relationship with God, with my family, with my friends, in ways that would have been completely foreign to me had I done all the things that I thought I was supposed to do, or what I had planned to do. Because I think that in a way, the mistakes that I made and the plans that fell through really were necessary. And I'm not saying that the hurt that I caused or the hurt that I felt was necessary, because it absolutely wasn't. But it couldn't have happened any other way than it did, because if it could have, I would be there, and I would be in whatever situation that would have resulted in. I'm here now, and I accept that. This is, I don't know. That was Poetry Hour. Shout out. What's up? Okay, bye.